So for the installation of this unit, the full unit over here, this is super easy. It follows a typical procedure like the previous units that we have seen, where they made a few changes. This is heavy duty metal, so is this. So there is not going to be creaking or anything. That was the intention here, but let's see how it does. But you just align it kind of like this, then you align this with the screws and you put this in the very middle over here. So it just goes in the middle, and then you put this, you align it, and then you put it right here in the middle as well. So this is lower. So let's go ahead and put the screws in. There is just this 4, 5, 6 screws here, and then 4 screws for this piece. So and they send you all the screws over here. So we're just going to put the screws, starting with this one over here. And then we're going to make our way around and put all the screws. All right, so we install all the screws over here. Looks like 4, 6, 7, 8, 10 screws total. And this is what it looks like now. It looks really nice. Now, if you have a 2021 Model 3, as you see, this has got Velcro, but yours probably just has a pin. So check your dash, and if you have pins like this everywhere, then all you have to do is remove this screws, so 2 screws, install this from here on the top, and that's it. That's all you have to do is remove this and then install this on the top, so all throughout all the Velcros. How this works is very straightforward. You take a pry tool and you pry this side panel out, and this is exactly the same step for any Model 3 or Y that you have. Then we're also going to be removing this side door panel by, again, using the pry tool. It just pops out like that. Ours is probably loose because, as I said, so many times, but yours might be a little tight. Just use a pry tool like this. Then go ahead and do that exact same process on the other side. Now, this dash is free to be removed, but if you have a Model 3 or Y that was built in Austin recently or a Shanghai, you might have another screw here, a Torx screw somewhere over here. So take a look at it and then see if you find any screws here. If you do, then remove that Torx screw. I'm not talking about this Torx screw. There has to be one attached to this dash over here, kind of hidden right here. Take a look at that screw and then remove that. If you don't have that, on older cars you don't, Fremont built, I haven't seen one. And then what you do is you simply then pop this out. And another reason how you can find that screw is also if you try to push this and it's just stubborn, it wouldn't go out, then you have something in here. For me, as I have removed this so many times, this is super loose. As you see, it just pops out. Yours might do the same, or you might require a little bit of force to remove it, and this is it. So as you see, there is some pins that this is connected to, just pins over here. Now we need to safely put this aside, and let's go ahead and remove the rest of the panels for this install. And I want to remove the bottom door panel for the AMD cars, and to do that you just have to remove this plastic screw. It is in a bit of an awkward position, but you can use a pry tool and that screw comes out. Then you can just reach underneath that panel and pull it up, and there are no more screws. It should just come right out. All right, so next for the wiring on this, you're going to take this plug that looks like the OVD plug, and you're just going to need the male plug. And all we are going to do is, if you look at that blue plug over there, you're just going to align this and plug it in. And that's all for the OBD side of things. You can leave this as is. You don't need this female port. You can terminate it using maybe the electrical tape, so you don't even have to worry about it. It doesn't plug into anything. Or you can leave it open for another mod in the future. But if you look at the other end of this, there is this positive lead, which is yellow, and then there is this ground, which is black. So for the ground, we can connect into any of the metal piece in the car, metal screws like this. There are some screws in there. We can connect the negative, the ground, to any of that. Now for the positive is you have got this long cable. This needs to go to the front, and we're going to connect it to the 12 volt or 16 volt battery, whatever you got. We're going to be connecting that to the front battery, and we're going to pass this through the firewall over here and get to the front. Now, I'm going to show you how to route this wire. We have done a lot of videos in the past showing you that, but basically we are going to go to the firewall. From there are plenty of cables passing through the firewalls, and we are going to connect this thing to the front battery, and this part goes to the front battery. The front over here, after you remove the HVAC panel, which just pops out, nothing fancy, we're going to be passing the cable to that spot over there. If you look at it, we have a camera cable already passing through there. You're going to make a little hole right here on that plug, put a routing cable, fishing cable, and then it will reach on the other side underneath that glove box area. So you can pass that cable, and I'm just going to show you very briefly here. I'm not going to do this as a permanent install. I'm testing it out still, but basically what you would do is route that cable, pass it through here. You can also remove this filter by just removing this screw here, and then there's another screw over there, or pass the cable through here. And then our goal is to reach this area. So right here is the positive terminal for a Model Y. If you have a Model 3, your positive terminal is going to be still kind of by the battery side, but for Model Y, your positive terminal is here, and we're just going to insert it here. I'm going to take this positive terminal. Right now, I'm just testing it, so I'm putting it from our side, but when I am driving around showing you what this looks like, I'm just going to pass this through here, through the firewall there, and then put it inside. But if we look at it, what we ended up doing is getting the negative from this here, and then putting the positive through there, and then the plug that comes from the OBD connection just plugs here on this control box, and then this is the plug that comes from the screen. So this is going to the screen, this is going to the OBD plug over here, so this is just going to the screen, and look at that. So it is working. So let's go ahead and install this a little bit more permanently so all of this mess is gone, and then we'll go on a ride. I'll show you all the functionality and what this does and what this does not do. We brought this one in, and we just have to align it over here, and then we are ready to put this out. Probably pull the steering wheel out a little bit so that you got a little bit more room to work with over here. Now we can just slide this in as such, and we just have to push this in. Looks like this went in pretty well. Just have to go around and put this in. Just make sure that the middle cable didn't come in the way, so look from that way and make sure it is the cable is in the very middle, and we are good to go.